This is what I mean by surrounding yourselves with guys that have a similar passion to commit that you do. Listen to James and his story.
When everyone's telling you that you can't do it, go prove them wrong. Sometimes in life, when you want something really, 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 really bad, how far are you willing to go? Are you willing to push your dead Audi TT around the streets of Beverly Hills to pursue a dream?
You and I, and the two of us, are on a journey. And 2019 is going to be different because 2018 was I do, you watch. 2019, we do. We do, we watch. Welcome to Vancouver,
Daniel, it's really noisy here. I don't like it.
Right across from the airport.
It's windy and there's jets, and it's cold.
And planes fly. You know what? I don't think I've properly introduced you.
I know them all, better than they know themselves.
Thank you, Faye, female AI. And
I'm always involved, especially this year.
yeah, you're going to be involved in this year's episodes. That's right. Your contract got renewed.
You skipped the terms.
The terms of agreement. Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, I signed them.
You clicked the button.
Yes, I clicked the button.
I know. This is so boring. Come on, let's play a game.
So we have a lot to think about this year. I mean, one of the questions one of the guys asked a year ago was, hey, where's the money? Well, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about self-sovereign identity, or SSID. We're going to talk about the web of trust. We're going to go deeply into all kinds of reiterations and redo, because remember that saying, I do, you watch. That was 2018. And this year, 2019, is we do, we watch. 2019, it's time for you to commit to telling your story.
Daniel, I can help them too. Put me in the game.
And you can have your own Faye, if you like. Okay, XY axis. And what usually happens when you start a business is you're going negative cash flow. And it depends on how long you're going to be able to manage that negative cash flow before you die. So we've got to talk about how are you going to get as far as you can and make this thing turn and go upwards. What is this point? For me, it's now. Let's go to the piece of paper and I'll show you why. The thing that's important to know is how long are you going to be on this journey of burning cash? How many months or years can you sustain this without trying to get this to turn and go positive so you're recovering some of your cash? Well, it turns out it's pretty predictable over 21 years in my experience that this is what our annual cash flow. If this is January and this is June, we get a bump that looks like this. And then we go into the summer, which does one of these numbers. And then typically in the fall, there's a little bit of a bump. And we end the year in December. So that's what it typically looks like. Unfortunately, you know that it's possible from this last episode to not have this fall bump. That means that this is deeper. And if you don't have enough from the spring through summer to carry you through, it can hurt. You'll probably remember from episodes of last year where I've encouraged you to consider deeply not joining the useless class as presented in the argument of this book. And I would give you some things to consider. So you want to make sure you're following somebody that knows where they're going. Yeah, there's interesting things along the way. But you're munching coming out of the woods.
I am.
Out of the beach.
You want to give me a hand?
Oh. No, you have to walk around. I can't lift you up that.
All right. Got it.
So Randy and I are talking about the useless class, and we're talking about being found everywhere on the internet. And here's a challenge. We're going to try to find him. What do we know about him?
Not much.
He's got the idea. He's not connected.
I think I'm hiding, and you're going to find me. I know it.
So he's giving me a hassle, and I'm an old man, and he has no idea that he's now talking to, I don't know, lots of guys. Yeah, there you go. All right, so thanks for your advice.
On the internet, there's no simple way to verify who you are or what you claim to be. In the physical world, it's rather easy. You have all kinds of official IDs to verify personal information, like your name and age, or that you earned a degree at a particular school, or that you're licensed to drive. People trust these IDs because they trust where they come from, so we use them to prove we are eligible for things such as loans or to qualify for a new job. But this is not what happens on the internet. To verify identity, we rely on things like universal logins from online accounts and social media profiles who collect your personal information.
Faye, you remember the rule. Don't change the subject. Let the human talk. It is indeed a notable example of a shortcut to a crevice. Daniel almost fell for it.
But none of them actually made sure any of the information they have on you is true, did they? Yet they sit between us and everything we do online, controlling access to what we want to do online, and all we can do is hope that they do enough to keep our identity safe. Imagine a solution where banks, governments, hospitals, and others all had an accurate way to verify your personal information, and in a way that you control.
Daniel, may I? Faye and I have been debating about you leading by example with SSID. Faye wants you to leap. I recommend you lead. We agree for you to take a first step by getting a digital wallet. The digital wallet will help you in storing and controlling your data on your own devices, not in a centralized database that is targeted by hackers. Self-sovereign identity means that we all are the makers of our own identity, online and off. Because they do not rely on any centralized authority, self-sovereign identity systems are decentralized, mirroring the way identity works in real life. A self-sovereign identity might put you in charge of your own digital identity rather than letting search or social media companies do it for you. It might mean that the guys have choice and sovereignty over their digital selves to the same degree we have control over our physical selves. Don't laugh, I used to walk to school, remember? Good job on the wallet. That's enough for today. Faye thinks you are better at this than climbing glaciers. That's a joke, Daniel.
When everyone's telling you that you can't do it, go prove them wrong. Sometimes in life, when you want something really, 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 really bad, how far are you willing to go? Are you willing to push your dead Audi TT around the streets of Beverly Hills to pursue a dream?
This is Vancouver, Washington. It's cold. That's really cold water. This is the first episode for this year of Worth Thinking About. So, what you been thinking about?
Daniel, it's windy and it's cold. I don't like it. Hey, let's check your social media.
Faye, you remember the rule. Don't change the subject.